dental universities in Canada are switching from AFK to requiring ADAT. How many and when? In this video, we're going to summarize the university pathway for foreign trained dentists in Canada. Let's get started. Welcome back. It's Dr. Hafez from Scholars Dental, and in this video, we're going to go through the university pathway for foreign trained dentists in Canada. I've already made a detailed video about UofT and another about Western University. If you want to see those, and you don't find their link somewhere on the screen, we'll leave the links to them in the description below. We'll also leave a link for each web page of that university, also in the link below, so you could go through the details, the deadlines, the requirements on your own as well. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I'm still going to go through UofT and Western just very quickly. And we'll make a kind of a list of all the universities here and see what we have left, okay? I'm also going to draw here a timeline, which I usually like to do. Alrighty. Okay. So, UofT still accepts international trained dentists, okay? So, we could go UofT, but requires ADAT, as we all know, okay? And here's the link, here's the webpage for the programs mentioning the details, the important dates. You could submit an application between April and July 2nd. Okay, so let's say if we take that color and we go April, right, June, July. So you could submit between April and July 2nd. This is UofT. Okay. That's pretty much it. If you want any more details, you could go through this webpage again and check all the requirements. All right, now Western, interestingly, I'm going to keep this in red, but Western, it still says on their website that it requires AFK. Now, that's for now. Is that going to change? We don't know. We'll see. But what I see for myself here is it hasn't changed since the time I made the detailed video, but you can see here it says what it requires is NDEB assessment of fundamental knowledge, and it just says, okay, it should be written in the past 5 years. Nothing about any update about ADAT, okay? Let me see if I could find the deadline just to kind of process fees and deadlines, okay? And application for September 2020 admission will open June until September. So if we say June, this is UofT, and then June until September, June, July, August, September is Western. Okay, so this would be Western, and this would be UofT. All right, so what's next? I have the University of BC, okay, or British Columbia. Now, on their webpage, look what it says. The faculty of dentistry is not accepting applications for the International Dental Degree Completion Program, which was called IDDCP, until further notice. So, and they refer you to the NDEB website. This is interesting. So pretty much we lost a university for now. So if we take BC here, we're going to have to just put an X on it for now until further notice. Okay. Now let's see what's next. We have Alberta University, or University of Alberta, has a DDS advanced placement. Let's go through that quickly here. Advanced placement program is a 3-year program. The application fee, I'm not going into details at this point. The information below is applicable to fall 2024 admission. It's updated. Okay. So you can see here, they're changing something. Fall 2024 admission, they're still accepting AFK, right? So you must complete the AFK for that admission. Okay, so you have to finish the AFK no later than August so that you could make sure you could apply before November. So it seems like their deadline is usually in November. Is that consistent? Yes, prior to application deadline November. So let's put here U of A. Maybe I'll put it in a different color just to, so U of, let's make it blue. U of A, okay. Now it's allowing AFK for now, but look at here, 2025 admission, it's gonna ask for ADAT. So it will be switching to ADAT. So we don't have, this is probably the last time for AFK. Okay, so when its deadline is August, September, we'll put it in the same color. September, October, November 1st. So that's when U of A deadline is. Okay. And it will be switching. So when they say beginning for fall 2025 admission cycle, so 2024 admission cycle, July will be required for, okay, prior to application deadline, must complete, yes. Okay, so getting into the 2024 as your first time, that's still being accepted for AFK. Once fall 2025, to get into that cycle, you would need ADAT. Okay, so they are switching to ADAT. If you have AFK, like you have a temporary window, like a small window to use AFK to get into this university. Okay, so maybe we could put beside it here, you know, AFK in little tiny letters and show that it's switching. Okay. Okay, I'll put a little arrow there. So it's going to switch to ADAT, right? Let's see if there's anything here interesting. We saw the application process. It's the deadline's November and it opens July 1st. So if I want to add that here, it would be July to November, right? Like that. Okay. So Alberta still working, still, you know, allowing international trained dentists to go through its program. Just it will be switching to ADAT. Okay. You could also check all these details. You know, requires PR or citizenship. Most of them do. Probably an English test. All that, please check it on your own. Let's just go through the highlights. Now, next one we have is Manitoba. So let's put this up here. I'm going to put it in a different color. Again, Manitoba. Let's just call it, yep, U of M. Okay. Now, this one is the weird one with the two tracks, okay? So you have expected duration 2 years. Of course, going to have some, okay, here's track A and track B. It's always had a track A and track B, but it is kind of weird. So we'll kind of explain both. So you have track A and track B. Now, track A was you only doing, before it used to be only doing AFK. So you can see here, when do you qualify for track A? You have a 4-year dental program that's not accredited, right? And you did not participate as a condition in the ACJ or skills, okay? In the year of application. Okay, now, so this one was requiring track A that you did AFK only, but they will also be changing it to ADAT. This is why they have this note here. You see this note? Please note the admission requirement changes outlined below for 2025. Changes to the required admission test. All track A candidates will now need to complete the ADAT for admission to this program no later than March 1st in the year of application. So this part's kind of confusing because I know that ADAT starts from March to August. So I'm not sure. Maybe they have to, you have to send before March, but let's just see what we could find. National will no longer be taking the AFK. So track A used to be AFK, but will be switching to ADAT. And you have to not do ACJ or skills. Now track B, this is the interesting part. The way it used to be is that you had to do AFK and pass it. Look at here what it says. Have written and passed the assessment of fundamental knowledge, have written and passed the ACJ. So AFK plus ACJ, right? And within 3 years, okay? And in the year of application, have taken the skills or the NDECC. But it doesn't say that you had to pass it, right? So you have to pass AFK, pass ACJ, and just taken NDECC in the year of application. Now, I'm not going to go and pretend I know why they're doing this. I don't care. Let's just take it objectively here. So in the future, what's going to happen is if you want track A, then you just do the theory, which is ADAT, and you could apply. And you have to have not done ACJ and NDECC. Track B would remain AFK, it seems like, but you have to pass it and pass ACJ and take the NDECC. And then maybe if you can't pass the NDECC, that would be, so you have to fail the NDECC so that you could apply to track B, and then they'll take you in their track B. Possibly, right? Maybe that's what's happening. So track B application must be taken by December of the calendar year to application. Okay, so here you could see the summary. Track A application deadline is April. So if I put this, whoop, okay, keep it up here. So it would be April 1st. That's for U of M, right? That's for track A. And for track B, it's August. So over here would be U of M track B. Alrighty, so we got an idea here. So interestingly, unless they change this, one of the ones are remaining AFK. You have Western University and track B of Manitoba. They're track A switching to ADAT. Maybe there's 2 different pathways. I did not go into detail of this. I would recommend you do. So you can see here, there's some links. So if you click on this link, for example, advanced entry admission requirements, you will see that they'll give you some more details about track A, track B, and the requirements and eligibility. Perhaps here they may explain how many years it takes each one, and maybe, right? So go through that. What's the other link? If I close this, you have this one. This is just announcing the changes to ADAT in 2025. Okay. So next is University of Saskatchewan. So Saskatchewan. So I don't know why I said it like that. Just, but let's give it a different color, maybe green. So I'll put it here. University of, let's put U of S. Okay. Now, what does this one want? International Dental Degree Program. What you will learn. Okay, dentistry, cool. Tuition estimates. This one seems more expensive than the usual. Like per year, it's 61. I think UofT was 40 something per year, and this one is 61 per year. Okay. Now, academic requirements. Oh, another thing I saw in U of A, just to kind of go back to, where is this one? Oh, here. Look at this. So total qualified applicants, 105, and applicants accepted in the year 2020 was 18. So that's cool that we could have some numbers here. So if we take this, 18 accepted last year in 2022. Now, we don't know if that's always going to be the case. Now, University of Saskatchewan. Okay, dental aptitude not required. IDDP clinical skills exam interview. They may require you to do some form of skills test, but look, they do want ADAT. Okay. So first of all, they may select you to do their skills test, and selection of app will be based on ADAT score. So this one requires ADAT. All right. As detail required, okay, this app will be invited to participate in the skills. an interview with a maximum 5 positions reserved for residents of Saskatchewan. Applicants will be assessed on the clinical test. Okay. Okay. The payment for that skills. They'll check your criminal record, all this. Okay, no worries. Categories. The College of Dentistry admits up to 3 students to the program each year. So this is what I understood. So they take 3 people only. Okay. And 1 space is reserved for a resident of Saskatchewan. All of the applicants must be Canadian citizens or landed immigrants, I think, with a PR. So you could apply here if you're a resident of Saskatchewan and, okay, Canadian applicants, sure. To start classes in August 2023, the deadline to apply is March. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? March 20, well, it's gone for this year. But the College of Dentistry accepts online applications. Only the online application is available February. So does that apply to every year? So is that March 31st? Huh, it makes it a bit interesting. Okay, March 31st is deadline for U of S. Okay. ADATs March 1. Okay. So results sent. The results will be sent directly from the ADA. Acceptable ADAT dates March 1, 2020 to March 10, 2023. So anything before then will be accepted for this year. So you guess for next year you'd have to check, right? It's already ADAT, just a matter of when you do the ADAT for it. Okay, so now we know this. Okay, what's left? Next one is McGill. We know that McGill switched to ADAT as well. Let's see what it says here. The application deadline is on September 15th. No application will be accepted after that. Okay, so let's say I want now I have to use a different color for this one too. Maybe I'll take the orange and I'll say McGill. Okay, and we'll put it September 15. So September 15, McGill. Maybe we just needed to put the deadline really. Okay, I lost a C here, but it's fine. Let's just keep it like that for now. Okay, you must fulfill the following. Oh, you have to be a resident of Quebec. Okay, you have, well, I think you would do that if you're going to go there. Advanced, so they want ADAT. Okay, of course, please know that results from this will also be accepted. Okay, some other stuff you should look into, the Casper test, all this stuff. That's other requirements. Each university should check it out. The last possible test date accepted. So you have to have, yes, the test, because that's when ADAT happens, is in August until the end of August. So ADAT as well. Let's put it beside it. What's left? Now, I checked Dalhousie University, and when you, or Dalhousie, I don't know how you're going to pronounce it, but if you click on it, DDS qualifying program, it takes you to a link. Then it says, warning, you have accessed the catalog via an outdated link. You will be redirected to the current catalog within 10 seconds. Okay, that's fine. I'll just click on it. And then it seems like explore programs. I don't see anything about advanced placement programs. So I'm not sure if they stopped it or not. Please, if you know anything about it, you might have found something or you know more, just leave in the comments. Help each other out so we figure this out. I couldn't find it when I was researching, so I guess I'm just going to assume it's not included. And then I looked at University de Montreal, but it's all French, and I didn't really go through translation or anything. Or Google Translate it. So I would rather, if anyone here knows French and they know what's going on, if they have a program for this, also please help out and leave in the comments for others to see. Okay? If you could leave it probably in English and French. Then you have University of Laval, but I didn't see anything. I think it might be the same as McGill, right? But that's pretty much it. I try to cover everything here, okay? So these are the ones that I am sure of from my research so far. So we have, let's kind of go back to them. You have UofT, Western, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 universities now, at least that I have on this list, right? So 6 universities, 6 unis that are opening the pathway for foreign trained dentists. In 2024 admission, okay, you have 1, 2, 3 that are accepting AFK. No, actually, well, yes. So 3 for AFK and 3 for ADAT. The confusing part here is that you have Manitoba is still doing AFK until 2025. Let's check that out one more time just to make sure we got it right. It said the switch will be in 2025, right? Yes. So, I mean, do you want to consider Manitoba being 2 pieces? I don't know. So, but the only one that's completely switching seems like is U of A. So by 2025, so if we go to 2025 now, we will only have 2 for AFK. So one would be Western University, and the other one would be track B of Manitoba, right? And with that one, you have to do ACJ and NDECC. So and not pass the NDECC. I'm not sure if someone gets that far. You know, they might still want to try to just finish a direct pathway. So maybe we need to consider Manitoba as an ADAT and say, really, there's only one university strictly for AFK, which is Western, and the rest are really going to become ADATs, right? So if we say, you know what, right now we have 3 proper AFK, 3 proper ADAT, then eventually it's going to be, it's going to be 5 ADAT really, right? And 1 AFK. Until we see what happens with, you know, the other ones like BC, right? So the only one strictly AFK is Western, and you have Manitoba, which will be switching to ADAT, and to go into its track B, which is the AFK one, you have to pass ACJ and also fail NDECC. This is my understanding. Now, okay, so now what? Let's look at what you would do if you're planning to do this, okay? So ADAT exam opens from, I like this color here, let's try this. Opens from March to August. This is when ADAT happens. Okay, I'm going to draw it here. ADAT happens, look at this circle, from March to August. Okay. So, yes. So the ideal cycle is still what I, usually recommend to students taking consults with me is if you're still planning this from the beginning, then the ideal cycle for this roadmap is taking the Feb exam for AFK. So for example, if you go to a September 2023 AFK course, okay, you have a 5-6 months preparation. You take this is just an example for next cycle, but this could be applied. You take the Feb AFK exam. Then you could make any ADAT adjustments or American exam adjustments between Feb and March in a 1 month or 2. So you could take your ADAT either in March or April. And along with, if you're going for all 3, IM, BDE, and you could take ADAT, right? Depending on what your goals are, that's what we do in the consults. Figure out what your possibilities are and try to open all the opportunities that make sense to you, right? So everyone that's done this so far with us and took the AFK course, everyone that's done the IMBDE after that has passed it. And we've received positive feedback from those students that took the ADAT as well. Okay. So this is the ideal if you want to try for university, because you want to try to take ADAT and IMB, let's say ADAT for example, as soon as possible in the beginning when it opens, so that when you get your results on their website, I read that ADAT results come out in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. So, or 3 to 4 weeks. So let's say that takes a month and you do it in March, then you're waiting until April. So you can see all the university deadlines are happening a few months later, right? If you happen to take the ADAT a bit too late, right? So if you're planning to take AFK and ADAT, right, kind of together during the same time where you're in your maximum preparation, because you're preparing for AFK, you kind of know all your foundational knowledge very well, and now you need to make those ADAT adjustments or IMBD adjustments, let's say. If you're planning that strategy, it won't make sense to plan it when you take a March to August course, because when you do the AFK in August, you don't have that much time to do ADAT. I mean, unless you have it booked in August. So let's say you do that could work, but even if you did the ADAT there, you would have missed a bunch of university deadlines. Are you guys following? Okay, so so if you plan to take AFK in August and you do from March to August, you prepare very well, you go for AFK, then you want to do ADAT in August, I mean, then you only have McGill open for yourself and in U of A, University of Alberta. But you would miss out. Well, you still have to wait 3 to 4 weeks for your results, so you might even miss McGill depending on when you do the ADAT. You see, so that's why ideally you want to do ADAT as early as possible. The best cycle for it would be September to Feb. Then you do AFK, you do IMBDE, you do ADAT, if that's your plan. Now, some of you don't care about AFK. Some of you are just going for ADAT. Then you could do it at any time between March and August and just wait for your result and apply to the universities, right? You could do it early March or April, regardless of what's happening in AFK. Just kind of clarifying the best efficient way to do it so that you're not studying, once for AFK, then afterwards, in a year, you're studying again for ADAT, then another time for IMDE. What I would say is study once fully, make adjustments for each exam, go in, and you kind of do all three. And we've received positive feedback about this strategy. The other thing is you want to keep in mind is the ADAT switch is not necessarily a bad thing for students that did or used all their AFK attempts. So for people that have failed AFK 3 times and cannot go through the direct pathway anymore, they could still have hope in doing ADAT and going through the university pathway, right? And I think that's all I have for you. Again, please, if you want to, this is not a full detailed explanation of each university's requirements. You have to do that on your own, please. This is just kind of to highlight where the dates are, which ones require ADAT, which ones will require ADAT eventually, what we have left for the AFK, and kind of highlighting which cycle is best to take ADAT, which is from September to Feb, study there, of course. Feb, you do the exam for AFK, then you could do ADAT in March, then you could do your applications if you're planning to open both university and direct pathways, right? Otherwise, based on your plan, it could be customized, and that's something you could talk to us about. If you want, go on our website, you could book a free consultation, and we could figure out your own plan, right? What do you want? Do you want university pathway? Do you want direct pathway? Or do you want both? Or are you open to the US, or are you not? So all this must be taken into consideration when planning what you want to do next in the next year or two, right? That's it, everybody. I'm glad I did this research because I'm getting asked about the switches, and I wanted to go and just figure out which universities are switching, which aren't, and what's happening here, so that I have the answers for when I get asked. So I did it, and I thought when I did it, the research, I could just bring it to you, share it with you. Please, if there's anything incorrect or adjustments or something I missed out, leave in the comments so we could benefit from it and I learn from you, and hopefully others could learn from you as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.